Well, hello everybody. My name is John Cottrell and this is Power Yoga. Thanks for being here. This is going to be a legs yoga practice. That's the name of this class today. So of course, we're going to be focusing on legs in all different forms. There's some balancing, but a lot of stretching actually. So if you have some tight hamstrings or calves, this is going to be a great class for you. Some things you might want to have for your practice this evening. Uh, Maybe a couple of yoga blocks. I've got a couple of blocks here. But if you don't have blocks, maybe a soft cushion, like a little pillow or something, that would be great. Some of the poses that we'll be doing will require us being on our knees. So if you're on a harder surface, you might want to have something soft underneath it. And it could be a block because there's one little element we're going to be elevated using the block, but a pillow is fine, just something soft. And then maybe a yoga strap for some of our leg extensions. So if you have a yoga strap or something that resembles a yoga strap, that would be great too. These are optional. You don't have to have these. I will give variations and modifications of some of the poses if you happen to not have any props for your practice. I think that's it. So we'll go ahead and begin. So I invite you to stand with me. Just stand near the top of your mat with your feet about hip distance apart, toes pointing forward. We just want to establish good alignment and balance through the lower half of the body. Since we are focusing on legs, let's give some attention to this portion of the body. So your hips are aligned, they're stacked nicely over your knees, which are then stacked nicely over your ankles. And for the moment, your toes are pointing forward. You can just have your arms relaxed down by your side to begin. Now, if this begins to become a little bit more uncomfortable for you, either in your knee joints or ankles, feel free to adjust this if you need to. Simply just step your feet apart, perhaps, or even turn the toes out. But just be sure you're standing balanced, even distribution of weight on both feet. We'll just hold here for a few more moments just to tune into breath. So take a few deep breaths in. You might breathe in through your nose with an exhale through the nose or your mouth. You can do that a few times. We tune into breath to help be more centered, connected, bringing ourselves to the present moment. And if you're able, breathe a little deeper or even a little louder so you can bring your full attention to your breath. This allows for a nice clearing of the mind so that you can just truly focus on the moment, the steadiness and the sound of your breath, and just standing in stillness. As you inhale, you might feel the lifting and lengthening of your spine as the breath rises to fill up your lungs. And we want to exhale by drawing navel inward towards spine to engage the abdominal lock. So it's just that contraction of the abdominal system. So again, an inhale, lengthen of spine, breath rising to fill up your lungs, exhaling, draw belly in. This is going to help with some balance, certainly some strength in the body and stability in the body. Let's go ahead and take 3 more breaths in and out as we prepare our bodies to move. And when you're ready, inhale and extend your arms out and all the way up into the air. A good stretch feeling through the body. And then exhale it, slowly fold forward, a good hinge from your hips. Bend your knees as much as you need to as you make your way down. You don't have to go all the way down. Maybe your hands land at your shins, or even just bend your knees a little bit more so you can perhaps touch your toes or your yoga mat. Let's inhale and slide your hands up to your knees or your thighs to extend your spine. We're going to hold here on the exhale. Just hold in half forward fold or Uttanasana or Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold. So we keep a slight bend in the knees here, that nice extension through the spine. There's a movement here. You want to feel like your hips and your tailbone are moving towards the wall behind you, while the very crown of your head or top of your head is moving forward. From here, go ahead and shift your weight back into your heels a bit. Bend your knees as if you're sitting down into a low chair. Look forward. Then extend your arms out and up into the air as you stand up tall. Reach into the sky. Exhale, bring your palms together and down to your heart. Just pause for a moment. Take a breath in and out. Let's just repeat that sequence. This is our half salute to the sun. Here we go. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up, reach high, stretching through the body. Exhale, fold forward. Keep that soft bend in the knees, making your way down carefully. Then inhale, slide your hands back up to your knees or thighs, long spine. On this exhale, we'll fold. Go back down to Uttanasana or forward fold. Let's hold here for a moment. As we hold, shift your weight forward a little bit towards your toes. It's like you're leaning forward, and you might feel your toes naturally grip your mat so you don't topple over. It's just a nice engagement for your feet. This will also engage your hamstrings. That's also allowing you not to fall over. So just notice that sensation in the backs of your legs. Take one more breath in and out. And then from there, just go ahead and shift your weight back into your heels. Bend your knees, sit down into your imaginary chair, look forward, and inhale. Let's come all the way up, reaching up into the sky. And exhale, palms together and down to your heart. Let's take a couple of breaths here as we remain in standing. So that's our half salute to the sun. We're going to continue with our full sun salutation. Moving at your own pace. Here we go. Inhale, reach into the sky. And exhale, fold forward, leading with your heart, soft knees, guide your way down. Inhale, rise up halfway, long spine, flat back. Exhale, bend your knees enough to place your palms on your mat to step back or walk back into plank pose, a high push-up position here. Hold for a moment. Inhale for length and strength. Exhale, bend your knees a little, send your hips into the air, right away to downward facing dog. A little shortcut here. We're going to hold here so we can again pay attention to legs. We're going to do some pedaling of the feet, or what I call walk the dog, where you press one heel down slowly as you exhale, as the other heel lifts. Inhale as you're switching. Exhale, press other heel down. Take this slowly so you can feel this lengthening effect through the calf muscles. Also notice the movement of the whole foot, because this might feel good for the sole of your foot, even the top of your foot, your ankles, your toes. So just pay attention. Maybe you can see your feet. Let your knees bend. Your hips might even shift side to side. Just a few more on each side. Then hold in stillness. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, walk, step, or hop both feet back up to the top of your mat. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, fold. Shift weight back into your heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Come all the way up, reach high. On this exhale, take chair pose right away. We're just going to keep this in motion, moving into series B. Inhale, extending out through the arms in chair pose. Exhale, dive out of your chair, down towards your toes, forward fold. Inhale, rise up halfway, monkey. Exhale, bent knees, hands to the ground, walk, step, or even hop back into plank pose. Let's hold for length and strength. Inhale right here. Then exhale, finish your push-up. Come down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Let's do a low cobra here. Stay on the ground, long legs, point your toes, and just barely lift your chest, looking forward. Exhale, maybe press back to hands and knees, tuck your toes, so you can lift your knees right and hips right up into the air for downward facing. Hold there. Then inhale, extend right leg up behind you, reaching back. Exhale, right foot to the top of the mat, warrior one. Left heel plants into the ground. Be sure you shift your weight back into that foot so you're balanced on 2 feet in this lunge. Inhale, rise up, reaching into the sky, warrior one. Exhale, let's fold, come right back down. Plant your hands into the mat. Let's step back into plank pose. Finish your series, come down all the way to your belly. Long legs, point your toes. Low cobra, barely lifting off the ground.
Push back hands and knees, tuck your toes, lift knees and hips, down dog. Adjust your feet. Arrive in down dog and then inhale, extend left leg into the air. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat. Right heel plants into the ground behind you. Find that balance so you have lightness in the hands so you can rise up. Warrior one, you're facing forward. Exhale, fold, plant your hands. Let's step back, plank, coming down. All the way to belly, long legs, pointed toes, Cobra. Push back, hands and knees, tuck toes, lift knees and hips, down dog. Hold for a moment in down dog. And then we're going to go take a seat. You're welcome to hop forward, cross your legs to take your seat, or just kneel down, take a seat in the center of your mat, and go ahead and lie down onto your back. We're going to go into bridge pose here. So go ahead and lie down with your knees bent, feet flat on the ground. Pause for a moment here as you just settle into the earth. When you're ready to move, you'll take a nice full breath in to fill up your lungs. Exhale to empty your belly. Feel your low back press down into the ground, then peel away from the ground. So hips will lift up into the air. If you're able, rock your upper body left and right a little bit so you can get your shoulders a bit underneath you. And as you're able, squeeze the shoulder blades together underneath you. That will help to engage your upper back muscles so you can stay afloat here. You can even bend your elbows at 90 degrees and press your elbows or triceps into the ground to help stabilize you and maybe lift you a little higher. Okay, since we are in a back bend, but since we're focusing on legs in this practice today, let's go ahead and focus on the legs. Feel the energy in the legs. Feel the feet press into the ground. Knees feel like they're moving forward. Your thighs are already naturally active, but feel as if you're squeezing a block or even a pillow between your knees. Thighs are engaged. Hips are active here. Okay, this is a long pose. We're going to breathe in, and as you exhale, slowly return to the earth. Hug both knees into chest. Now you're going to release the left leg onto the floor all the way straight, and we're going to extend the right leg up. Now don't worry if the leg doesn't fully extend. You can always keep a knee or a bend in the knee right here. Just hold on to the leg with your hands. Just reach up. Let's do a little movement with the foot. So you're going to flex the foot so your heel is reaching for the ceiling, and then press through the balls of the foot and then point your toe. Do that again. Heel, balls of the foot, point your toes. One more time. And just feel that fluidity through the foot. All right, let's bend this knee, hug it into chest, release it and extend the right leg onto the ground. Let's do the same on the other side. Let's hug in left knee and extend this left leg. Hold onto the leg in both hands. Hold for a moment just for whatever extension you've created here, even if there's a bend in the knee, that's okay. Let's do that same movement through the foot. Flex the foot, push through the heel. Push through the balls of the foot. Point your toes. Feel that action. Heel, balls of the foot, toes. One more time. So you're flexing and moving through a pointed foot. All right, relax it. Let's hug the knee back in. Let's bring the right knee in as well. Hug both knees in. Start to rock forward and back. With a good exhale, rock your way up to seated so we can come to boat pose. So you want to make sure you have an extended spine, leaning back. As you lean back, that might allow you to lift your feet up off the ground. Here we want to energize the feet. You can flex the feet or point your toes. But just remember what we just did lying down. You can push with the heels, balls of the foot, or pointed toes. Whatever you want to do. It's just something active in the feet so the legs stay active here. Make sure you're breathing. So a nice inhale to feel the lengthening of spine. Breath is still rising to fill up your lungs. The exhale, we feel that nice engagement in core body. Okay, let's move on the next breath. We'll inhale here And exhale, cross legs, roll forward onto hands if you're able. Hop or step back into plank. Let's hold here for a second, straight line. Then we'll just take a shortcut to down dog. Bend your knees, lift your hips into the air. Adjust the feet and hands if you need to. Let's continue with our lunge sequence. Inhale, extend right leg up, reaching back, straight and strong. Exhale, right foot to the top of the mat. Left heel plants into the ground, shifting the weight back. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. And your exhale to warrior two. Okay, we'll hold here for a moment. And if you like to, just go ahead and adjust the pose, maybe taking a wider stance, getting into this nice lunge here. So our right knee is bent, knee is pointing forward, directly forward, just as your toes are pointing forward. This left leg is straight. Make sure you're pressing the outside edge of your foot down into the mat. Let's take a side angle, so reach out over the right thigh. We'll rotate the arms here, right arm coming down, and left hand reaching up. Now this hand might touch the ground if you want to, or stacked blocks, or you can stay up high like this. Still paying attention to the legs. Nice hip opener here. You're actually strengthening the thigh right here too. Just because of this lunge, this knee is stacked nicely over the heel or ankle. Let's breathe in. And our exhale will turn to bring the hands down to the ground and just step back into plank pose for a quick pause. Then your shortcut to down dog. We'll do the other side. Inhale, extend left leg up. And then left foot to the top of the mat. Right heel plants into the mat. Inhale, float your way up. Exhale, open warrior two. Nice wide stance. Lunge. Be aware of your alignment in this front leg. Nice lunge. Again, making sure this left knee stays stacked over the heel or ankle so we don't aggravate the knee. We have some nice activation in the thigh. Knee and toes pointing forward. Right leg is straight. Outside edge of the right foot is pressing into the mat. That's a nice grounding. It also energizes the outside of the leg. All right, now here comes our side angle. Reach out. Angled upper body. Rotate your arms. Reach down and really extend this right arm up. Couple of breaths here. Strengthening the legs. Good hip opener. Let's take a breath in and our exhale so we can turn, bringing both hands back down to the ground. Step back, plank pose. And our shortcut again, down dog. Hold for a second, arriving in the posture. We'll take a nice breath in, fill up your lungs. Exhale, engage your belly so you can walk, step, or hop both feet back up to the top of your mat. Stay on your feet. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, fold, bent knees. Drop the hips, look forward. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Come all the way up, reach into the air. There we go. Exhale, hands to your heart. All right, let's pause here for a moment. And you're welcome to relax your arms down. Let's get into a little balance. We're going to do a couple things. We're going to go into tree pose, and we're going to convert tree pose to a leg extension. Okay? So don't worry if you lose your balance in this process, because we're going to be standing on one foot for a long time. Okay, let's get set up. Mountain pose. Start shifting your weight over into the right foot, root down strongly into the ground. You want to feel tall through the torso. Inhale. Exhale, pull belly in to engage. Then we'll lift this left foot, flex the foot. Maybe your thigh comes to parallel. We'll swing the knee open out to the side. That's our hip opener. And then place foot on the inside of your leg. Once you're here, we'll inhale, extend arms up. Get that nice extended quality in the body. Reaching high. Hold for a moment. You might want to focus on something out in front of you or down low. That will help with balance. But again, don't worry if you lose your balance. That's fine. All right, stay in the tree pose balance, but bring your arms down and bring hands to hips right here. Now swing this right knee forward. Left knee forward, lift the knee with the flex foot, and then extend the leg. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see this. Okay, so we're just extending the leg. Doesn't have to lift high. Flex your foot so you're really pushing through your heel.
push. And be sure you're standing up nice and tall. Be aware if you're leaning backward like this, but nice and tall as if you're flush against a wall. Okay, so both legs are strong. You're balancing on one and one is extended. Hold. Then slowly bring this left foot back down to the ground. Balance on 2 feet. Walk that out if you want to. Okay, so you don't have to worry about extending that leg up high, just straight out in front of you, even if it's really low to the ground, that's fine. Okay, let's get set up for the other side. Start shifting weight into your left foot, root into the ground strongly. Maybe a little softness in the knee so you don't have to lock out that knee. Inhale, nice long spine. Exhale, core connected. Now we're ready to balance. Floating the right foot up, flexing the foot as it lifts. Thigh comes to parallel here. Swing the knee out. There, good. Placing foot on the inside of the standing leg. Once you've got that established, we'll inhale, reach up into the sky, lift. Want to reach so you can get the torso to lift, make some space in the pelvic bowl. This right knee can even point a little bit more towards the right side of the room. Focus on something out in front of you or down low. You might even feel the standing foot really working hard for you to help you balance. Okay, stay in the balance, but bring the arms down and your hands to your hips. Let's swing this right knee forward. Lift the knee, flex foot, push through the heel. Push. Okay, I'm just turning sideways. So we're just pushing through the heel. It can be really low. You can even challenge this by lifting a little bit. It really engages the thigh. Hamstring is engaged because we're flexing the foot. Again, be aware if you're leaning back, we want to be nice and tall. What's going to help you be tall is your hands on your hips, push down, push your pelvis down, and then feel taller in the upper body. Then lock it with an exhale, draw belly in. Then slowly bring the right foot down, touching the ground. There we go. Walk it out. You can relax your hands here too. All right, good job. So that's some balancing work, strength work in tree pose. All right, back to our flow. Mountain pose. Here we go. Inhale, float your arms up, and exhale, swan dive. Inhale, monkey pose. Exhale, bend to bring your hands to the mat, walk, step, or hop back, plank pose. Come down if you like, chaturanga. Inhale, maybe upward facing dog this time. You can always go back to cobra. Then exhale, downward facing dog. We'll inhale to extend right leg up. Let's open this up. Bend your knee. Lift the knee up into the air, creating a little bit of a twist and hip opener. We're going to unwind it, exhaling, stepping through, right foot to the top of the mat, right heel plants into the ground. Rise up. Warrior two. Lunging. Side angle pose, reaching out. Left hand down, right hand up. We're going to inhale here. Exhale, turn. Let's bring the hands to the ground. Let's step back, plank pose. Come on down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take the other leg. Take it right up into the air. Bend and twist open. On the exhale, unwind it, step through, top of the mat. Left heel down behind you, rise up. And our exhale to warrior two. Side angle, reaching out. Rotate the arms. So we're just getting a nice fluid motion through the body as we go through this sequence. Breathing in right here. And our exhale will turn to bring hands back down to the ground. Step back plank, finishing your flow. Up dog. And downward facing dog. Pause there for a moment. And then we'll take another seat. You can hop forward, cross your legs to take a seat, or just kneel down. Take a seat. We're going to stay seated, so you're going to extend your legs out front. You might need to scoot back a little bit. Here's where you might want to use a strap. Optional. You don't have to use a strap, okay? But you do want to sit up nice and tall. Janu Shirshasana, it's head to knee pose. That's the name of the pose. So you're going to bend the left knee, Bring left foot to the inner right thigh. Right leg will stay straight, keep the foot flexed. And even adjust your seat if you need to. We're going to inhale and shoot both arms up into the air. Exhale, begin to hinge forward out over this leg. Pause right there. You don't have to go all the way down, but bring your hands down and they can come to the ground or your leg. If you can reach your foot, go ahead and take one hand or both hands to the foot. If you can't, that's when you can use the strap. Maybe just wrap the strap around the foot to hold on to. So we have a hip opener. We have a nice hamstring extension that's happening here. And if the back happens to curve, you might feel a little back stretch. So let's hold here. Feel the energy, feel what's happening in the body. Even though this pose is called head to knee pose, you want to be careful not to just drop your head down to your knee. You want to have some extension through the spine, especially at the beginning portion of the pose. Nice extension, and really lead with your heart and chin as if you're going to reach out toward your toes instead. You're going that way, forward, then down. All right, 2 more breaths. We're going to make our way back up, nice and tall here. We're going to bring this left knee up, slide it forward a little bit, bend the right knee to match like this, and we're just going to take this into boat. Hold on to the backs of the legs right at the bend of the knees. Be sure to activate your feet. Look at the knees because they're going to be aligned right here. Hold yourself up. With an exhale, you're going to extend the right leg and then point your toe. But the knees are still aligned right here. So you can see your knees, they're aligned. You just happen to have extended the right leg. Let's bring the left heel to the ground, just for a little extra stability. For a little bonus, if you want, you can hold on to this leg, maybe down by calf or lower, and maybe extend it even higher. Just an option. You can keep it exactly knee level, okay? Or here. 2 more breaths. Good. Let's go ahead and bend, cross legs, hands in front or to the side, so you can take it back to plank pose. Shortcut to down dog, re-extending spine, and then back down to the ground. Hop forward, cross legs, take a seat, or just kneel down, take a seat, extending legs. You can even take a quick staff pose just to ensure straight spine and straight legs. Let's do the other side. So Janu Shirshasana, right knee bends, right foot to the inner left thigh. Adjusting your seat. Now, if this knee doesn't go all the way down to the ground, here's another opportunity to use a prop, like a block or something. Just let it, bring the block over here and just let it rest. Let your leg rest on the block if you want. Let's inhale, shoot the arms up. Exhale, hinge and fold. Bring the hands down to the ground or your leg or your toes. Or if you need a strap on this side, use your tool to help you extend through this left leg. Breathing deeply. Now, if this left knee needs to bend a little, I'd encourage that. You don't have to have it absolutely straight. It's actually nice to keep a little softness in the knee so there's no aggravation to the knee joint itself or even the back of the knee because you don't want to hyperextend. Feel these sensations of the extension of the hamstring, the hip opener on the right side, and maybe that back stretch. Let's take a couple more breaths. We're going to go back to our boat pose in a moment. Let's rise back up. Bring right knee in. Slide that foot forward slightly. Bend the left knee to match. Just going to adjust my seat. Lean back so we can take our boat pose. We're going to do the exact same thing, just the other leg. So knees are aligned. We're going to hold on to the legs. Energize your feet. Then we're going to extend the left leg. Point your toes. You can stay just like this. Knees are still aligned. You're just hinging, okay, right at this little hinging point, the knee joint there, okay? Stay just like this, or if you want, you can bring right heel to the ground, stay here, or if you've got a little bit more extension available, kind of walk your hands down the leg towards the toes, lifting the leg a little higher, even bringing your chest a little closer towards this leg. Now, my left leg isn't as flexible as my right, so this is about as far as I can take this. Two more breaths. Nicely done. Let's go ahead and bend. And then cross legs, hands in front. Hopper step back plank. Let's complete the series with Chaturanga Dandasana, Cobra, or Up Dog. That's an in-breath. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's inhale, extend right leg up, bend and twist open. Exhale, right foot to the top of the mat, Warrior One. Adding on, we're adding some new poses here. And opening to Warrior Two. A little wider in the stance, perhaps, but we are going to straighten the right leg. We're going to triangle pose. So we're getting more stretch through the right hamstring. Straighten the right leg, reach out over the right leg, rotate your arms. Just like this. Now to help stabilize in the hip area, what you can do is actually flex the foot or lift your toes down there and really drive the heel and the balls of your foot into the ground. It'll help stabilize the leg, at least in the hip area, and maybe you can go a little deeper into the pose. All right, let's bend the right knee and just kind of slide into a side angle. Take a breath in, exhale, turn, bring both hands to the ground on the inside of your right foot. Rise up onto your tiptoes behind you. We need to set this up. You might want to heel toe your right foot out to the edge of the mat. And here's where you might want to bring in your block or pillow. If you can see me, I'm placing my block in an area where when I bend my left knee, I'm not kneeling on it. Actually, my shin is on the block right there. Okay, and I'm going to take my right foot way out front there, way forward. And then I'm going to get into this lunge. So I'm just letting my hips kind of sink low here. Okay. Hands can be on the ground still. If you can go lower, you can certainly go lower, but I think this is good enough for me, especially with the leg elevated. It just adds a little bit more stretch and extension through this left hip flexor. Now, you don't have to make that too forceful at all. Now, if you don't have a pillow or a block, you can just bring the knee to the ground. If you need to have some padding for the knee, you can just maybe fold the side of your mat in and just create a little cushioning for that left knee. So you might feel this not only in the left hip flexor, but maybe in the right inner thigh as you lunge deeply, especially if maybe you're much lower. Maybe you're like this, bent elbows and your arms are coming down to the ground. All right, we're staying just like this, but use your hands to help lift your hips up a little bit. And then you're going to sit back. Okay, we're going to call this half splits or half Hanuman. So I'm still got my shin on the block, which is nice because it'll protect my ankle back here. So I'm just sitting back so I can extend this front leg right here. Hands I just have on either side of me just to help support my body. So I can extend spine and maybe hinge forward. Now again, you don't have to use the block. Maybe it's a pillow or maybe your foot or leg is on the ground if you're able to do this. Two more breaths. We're not going to be here too long. Use your hands to help press yourself back up, move forward. Just go ahead and tuck your toes behind you so you can lift the leg off of your block or pillow. Move it to the side. Both hands on the ground up front so you can slide right foot back, plank. Finish your sequence. Come on down. Up dog and downward facing dog. Same thing other side. Inhale, left leg extends, bend and twist. Unwind
Exhaling, left foot to the top of the mat, right heel down. Rise up, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Adjusting the feet as you need to, then take triangle. Let's set it up. Left leg extends. Reach out over this left leg, angled upper body. Rotate your arms, reaching up and down. With a little bit more focus and attention to the left leg, lift the toes, drive the heel and the balls of the foot into the ground so it stabilizes and energizes this leg so you can hold a little bit longer and maybe even go a little bit deeper. Deep breaths. All right, stay angled here, but bend the left knee, kind of sliding down into a side angle. Breathe in. Exhale, turn to bring both hands down to the ground on the inside of your left foot. Move the left foot to the left edge of your mat. Rise up onto your tiptoes behind you. So we're in this runner's lunge, but you're going to bring in that blocker pillow again, positioning it so that when you bring the right leg down, your shin is on it. Now you could just kneel on it. You can just bring your knee to it. That's fine. But this just gives a different sensation and it frees up the knee joint. And then really wiggle this left foot forward and maybe even out to the side a little bit forward so you have more space. And then I can just go ahead and kind of scoot forward or feel my hips move forward and down. And then I can get into that nice, there we are, that nice deep lunge. Now this is perfect. I don't have to move my upper body lower at all. Because of the elevated leg behind me there, it gives me enough of that stretch. Deep breaths here, especially if you happen to be a little tight in the hip flexors or low belly region, in the psoas. Left inner thigh might be getting a bit of a stretch as well. 2 more breaths. After that, we're lifting the hips, sitting back into our half splits or half Hanuman. Okay, careful with the knee. If you can't go all the way down, then don't go all the way down. If that's a little bit too much for the right knee joint, that's okay. Hands help you prop yourself up to extend spine, maybe hinge forward. Because this leg is elevated, potentially, be careful with not locking out this knee. You might want to keep a little softness in that left knee. 2 more breaths. Okay, let's lift ourselves back up, hands out in front here. Okay, tuck toes behind you so you can lift that right leg. Move your block or pillow out of the way. Press hands into the mat so you can slide the left foot back. Here we are, plank, chaturanga, up dog or cobra, and downward facing dog. Hold for a moment. Full breath in. Exhale, walk, step, or hop, both feet back up to the top of your mat. Inhale, extend spine. Exhale, fold. Let's hold this fold again. Keeping the weight slightly forward, grip your mat with your toes. This might allow you to take both hands, reach behind the legs. Maybe you can touch your heels or your ankles or your calves. Inhale just to find some more extension through spine as you're able. Exhale, fold. And since you're holding onto the backs of the legs, you might be able to use that as a way to draw yourself downward and towards the knees or shins. Let's release, shifting weight back into the heels. Bend your knees, look forward. Out with the arms, inhale. Stand up tall, extended mountain. Let's hold extended mountain for a second or two. Then exhale, arms down by your side. Just wanted to hold that extra extension since we're in that deep forward fold for some time. All right, let's go back to that balancing sequence, tree to leg extension. And we're going to take that, we're just going to move that into the next flow here. Okay, so back to mountain pose, starting with tree. So shift your weight into your right foot. Root, get tall into the spine, core engaged as you exhale. Float left foot up. Flex the foot, thigh parallel to ground. Swing knee out to the side, plug foot into the standing leg.
Inhale, extend arms up into the air. Reach. Couple breaths here. On the third inhale, reach high. Exhale, bring hands to hips. Push pelvis down as you still feel tall in the torso. Swing left knee forward. Lift knee until thigh is parallel to the ground. Extend left leg out front. Doesn't have to be parallel to the ground, but if you can, lift it a little higher, even just an inch. Okay, listen. You're going to bend both knees. Bend the left knee, bend the right knee. You're going to hinge forward. As you hinge forward, your left leg is extending back. See if you can hold here for a quick balance. So my right foot is on the ground, my left foot is not. But then I bend the right knee so I can just set the toes down behind. I'm in a high lunge, so stand tall and take arms up into the air. Reach. Very good. Rise up until the legs are as straight as can be, and then pivot left heel to the floor, turn sideways, bring arms down to parallel. Stay right here, because you're going to turn right foot forward, so all 10 toes are pointing forward. Now, if your feet are out of alignment like mine are at the moment, just adjust the feet so they're aligned, and then come back here. I just call this a star shape. We're going to inhale, reach out with the arms. Exhale, pull belly in, bend your knees if they're straight, and then fold. And go ahead and bring your hands down to the ground if they reach. Inhale, re-extend spine, lengthening, coming forward. Exhale, fold. We're going to hold here for some time. So if the feet want to go a little wider, go ahead and just take them a bit wider. Keep a softness in the knees and keep this nice fold. Feel this in the hamstrings, maybe your calves. But because of the legs in this wide stance, this also affects the outsides of the legs. This is great. Okay, 2 more breaths. Rise back up to fingertips, extending the spine. Hold here. Pull belly in. Bend your knees. Lean back more into the heels. Even feel like you're sitting on a wall or a chair behind you. So you can take your arms out to the side. So we're in this kind of deep plie, bent knees, and then stand up tall back to our star shape right there. Let's turn right foot forward, lunging into warrior 2. Windmill. Left hand up and over. Bring both hands to the inside of the right leg again. Left heel lifts. Bring left knee all the way down to the ground. Long leg, point your toes. Push into the ground with the hands, extending through spine. Even just look forward. We're not staying here long at all. Right there. Sit back. Half splits. Inhale to extend spine. Exhale, fold. It's almost like you're sitting in hero pose on this side. We're not going to be here long. Then rise back up. Just to here. So we have a right angle in this front leg. Tuck your toes behind you. Let's rise up nice and tall here, upper body. Bring both arms up. We're squeezing to inner thighs, squeezing belly, and we're rising back up to that high lunge. Hinge forward at 45 degrees, and then step forward, left foot to the top of the mat, chair pose, and then stand up nice and tall. Reach, exhale, arms down by your side. All right, so a lot of leg work with that one. All right, let's get ready for the other side. I'm just adjusting my mat. All right, same beginning, tree pose left side. Okay, so left foot roots into the ground, stand nice and tall. Inhale for length, exhale, draw belly in. We'll float right foot up, swing knee out to the side, plug foot into the standing leg. We'll inhale to extend both arms up into the air. Good, holding. This inhale, reach a little higher. Exhale, bring hands to hips. Push down with the hands or pushing pelvis down to stand up a little taller. Swing right knee forward, lifting knee with the flexed foot. Extend this leg, keep it low, just straight as can be. Maybe lifting a little higher, not much, maybe just an inch. Hold, feel the strength in both legs. And even hug to inner thighs, that might even help with the balance. All right, listen, we're bending right knee, bend left knee, hinge forward at 45 degrees, extending right leg back. We're balancing here for a second. Okay, hold. Bend left knee more so you can set your toes down behind you. High lunge. Let's take arms up into the air. Reach, stay where you are. Rise up to extend both legs, then opening up to a triangle prep. Turn left foot forward, so all 10 toes are facing the same direction. Adjust your feet if you need to. Here's our star shape. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, pull belly in, bend the knees, and then fold. Inhale, re-extend spine, rise to fingertips. Exhale, fold again. We're holding it once again in this forward fold, this wide-legged forward fold. You can take the legs or take the feet a little wider, even fold a little deeper. Since the body is already warmed up from this position from the other side, you might be able to go a little deeper. Two more breaths. Then rise up to fingertips when you're ready, extending the spine. Hold there. Pull belly in to engage. Bend the knees, sit back a little bit so you can lift your hands off the ground, extend them out to the side, and then rise up nice and tall. Return to your star shape. Turn left foot forward, lunge into warrior two. Then windmill, bring the hands down to the floor in front. Actually, bring both hands to the inside of the left foot. Wiggle the left foot off to the left side. Rise up onto tiptoes behind you. Gently set the right knee onto the ground. Lengthen the foot behind you. Push into the ground with the hands to help extend spine. Look forward and just feel that natural sinking sensation of the right hip. One more breath. We're going to sit back to our half Hanuman. Now you could do something like this. You can maybe tuck the toes back behind you and maybe stay up a little higher, maybe like this, okay? That way you don't have to sit all the way down and maybe your knee doesn't allow your body to go all the way down. So you can do this instead. Then come back up, getting a nice right angle in this left leg. Let's get the torso nice and tall here. Tuck toes behind you. We're going to take the arms up into the air. I'm going to make sure you have a right angle here because that's going to be the leverage you need to get up. Squeeze to inner thighs. Pull belly in. Exhale, lift. High lunge. Hinge forward 45 degrees. Step forward, chair pose. Stand up tall, extended mountain. Arms down by your side. Very nice. All right. We're going to pretty much do the same thing, okay? But we're adding a couple more poses. Won't be a problem. So let's go ahead and continue. Picking up the pace just a tiny bit. Tree pose, right foot stays rooted into the ground, nice and tall. Float the left foot up, swing it out, plug foot in. Let's take the arms up into the sky. Reach. Inhale, lift higher. Exhale, hands to hips. Swing left knee forward, lift knee, flexed foot, extend the leg. Maybe a little higher if you want. Bend both knees, hinge forward. So we can extend this left leg back, balance. Then set the toes down behind you, high lunge, extending arms up into the air. Once you're tall, lift to extend both legs. Pivot left heel to the ground, arms down to parallel. Here, turn right foot forward, star shape, adjust your feet. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, pull belly in, bend your knees, then fold. This is all the same like we just did. Inhale, extend spine. Exhale, fold. This is where things start to change.
Are you going to walk your hands over towards right foot, turning the right foot forward. Rise up onto tiptoes behind you. So here's the lunge. Bring left knee down. Sit back, half Hanuman. Then here we're rising up for the lunge. We're going to hinge forward. Now this is going to put a little extra bend in this right knee. Arms up into the air. Inhale. Exhale, bring both hands to the floor on the inside of this right foot. Okay, here's something new. This back leg, basically, and this front foot. So I'm basically just kind of spinning around. I end up on my toes on my right foot, so I can spin this left leg outer spiral to open. So I'm in this lunging effect here, like so. Then we're just going to kind of shift to center, both knees bent, almost like you're like a mosquito right there. Back to our forward fold. Hips rise, straightening the legs a little bit. Rise to fingertips, extending spine. Hold here. Core engaged, bend the knees, hips sit back and down a little bit, extend the arms out to the side, rise up. Star shape, turn right foot forward, lunge, warrior two. Windmill, bring hands down to the floor in front, step back, plank pose, come down, chaturanga. Up dog. Downward facing dog. That's our sequence. Jump, step, or walk, both feet up to the top of your mat. Inhale, extend spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, come to standing, reach high. Exhale, hands to heart. We're taking a breath or two, but getting ready for the other side. Tree pose, shifting weight into your left foot, root. Lifting right foot, flex foot, thigh parallel to the ground, swing the knee out to the side, plugging foot to the inside of the standing leg. Let's inhale to take the arms up into the air. Reach. Inhale, reach higher. Exhale, bring hands to hips. Be sure you've engaged your core as well. Swing right knee forward, lifting knee, flexed foot. Extend the right leg. Extend the right leg. Maybe lifting a little higher. Nice and tall through the spine. Bend both knees. Hinge forward about 45 degrees. Extending right leg back, balance. Bend the left knee so you can set your toes down behind you. High lunge, extending arms up into the air. Stay where you are. Rise up until the legs are straight. Pivot right heel to the floor, open up to triangle prep. Turn left foot forward. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, pull belly in, bend knees and fold. Inhale, re-extend spine, and exhale, fold again. Couple breaths. Here comes the new part. Walk your hands over to your left foot. Left foot spins to face forward. Rise up onto tiptoes behind you. So we're in a runner's lunge. Bring right knee down gently to the ground or a block. You can bring in your pillow if you need to. Half Hanuman, half splits. Sit back, partially if you need to. Nice extended spine so you can fold forward in this. Use your hands to help press back up. Lunge forward, getting that hip flexor stretch. Then take arms up into the air. This is Anjaneyasana. Then bring both hands to the ground on the inside of this left foot. Okay, then we're going to do that little spin, maybe up onto the balls of the foot in front there. So you can lift and spin this whole right leg open. There we are. All right, let's shift so we can get to center. I'm just calling this mosquito. I don't know why. Just think it looks like a mosquito or a spider. Lifting hips. Extending spine, rise to fingertips, hold. Pull belly in, bend the knees, sit a little bit. Arms out to the side, rise up, star shape. Turn left foot forward, lunge. Windmill, bring hands down to the floor in front. Step back, plank pose. We're completing the series, chaturanga. Up dog and downward facing dog. Pause. We're going to the ground. Hop forward, cross your legs, take a seat or kneel down. So you can take your seat. Go ahead and sit in the center of your mat. Roll down onto your back. Give yourself a quick hug. Now we only have a few more minutes left, so you're actually welcome to go right into Shavasana right here. But if you're still kind of breathing heavily, you might want to take a couple more poses on your own. Maybe it's a twist to both sides. You can extend the legs again if you want. You can take bridge pose, or maybe even a hip opener like happy baby pose. So choose any one or several of those closing postures. I'm going into a spinal twist on both sides. This feels great. I'm going to come back to center and I'll do reclining cobbler's pose, one of my favorites. So just finishing up your moving practice. And then when you do feel complete, make your way down all the way onto your back, maybe extending your legs so you can lie comfortably here in Shavasana. You're welcome to use any props, blanket, a bolster, pillow, anything that you might like to help support your body just for the next couple of minutes. Just lying comfortably, breathing slowly and deeply. And you're welcome to stay here as long as you need to. Even as I close the practice, you can just stay just like this if you'd like. When you are ready to move, rather than moving right away, start the movement of the breath. So just maybe 5 deep breaths. And as you're breathing in and out slowly and deeply, you can feel movement return to your body. And once you arrived at your 5th breath, move in slow motion. Roll onto either side of your body into a nurturing pose. Of course, you can just stay in Shavasana. And then still moving as slowly as can be, coming back up, rising to seated. And if you aren't seated, just find that nicely extended spine. Your arms can just relax down by your side. Take a breath. And to finish our practice, we'll inhale and extend the arms up into the air. As you exhale, you can bring your palms together and down to your heart. Hold in stillness as you take one more breath.
Very nice. And as we come to the close of this practice, together we bow saying, Namaste.